Okay, so this is how the wiki for the sprint 3 looks like. These are all the goals for the sprint 3. So first is create a facade in backend to get generic data model for event participants progress, that is to track live event data from the devices of different types. Second is to update UI to show dynamic content to the logged in user. Third is to make UI updates like having different color markers for different event participants, that is to distinguish different users on a live map while they are being tracked. The fourth one is to create event administrator dashboard where the admin can interact with the event that they have created, basically to start and stop progress tracking for that particular event. So now let's go to the backlog for the sprint 3 and look at all the user stories. So this is user story 1 number 85 worked on by Saran. It says that as event participant or organizer, I need to see the history of my events after logging in, that such that I can keep track of my event. That is, once the user is logged in, we need to be able to show them which all events they took part in, and uh, yeah, the registered event for that particular user. So I logged in as the user. It says my name here, and the button changes to log out since I've already logged in right now. And when I go to my events page, it shows these two events which I was registered to. And if I go to one of the events, it will show, since it was a completed event, it shows the track that I took for that particular event and other data about that for the same. Now I can just go back, and as you can see, I've been logged out, and now it is showing, asking me to either log in or sign up again, and my name also disappears from here since I have logged out, and it completely becomes a new session. Is there a way we can also another feature we can see for the event is that once I have logged out of the event, and if I go and try to register for a particular event, that is, if I go and try to register for this Arizona event, it will ask me to log in again since I have not already logged in. If I were already logged in, it would just let me register without asking for my password again. Now if I register, it lets me register again. So let's look at user story 101, which is, as an event organizer, I want to access the start and stop button of live events so that I can control when an event starts and when it ends. This is for the admin. Task was worked on by Jenny. Let's look at the implementation. So here I will log in as an organizer. What is the organizer email?
Organizer at test.com.
Okay,
Organizer with G.
Okay, organizer at?
Organizer spelling is ORGANNIZE.
Okay.
At test.com.
And password?
128 1234567.
So now that I have logged in as an admin, you can see there is another admin page, admin button that has popped up here, and you can see a create a new event with which it can the admin can create a new event, and he can also view the event that were created by that person. So these are all the three events that were created by that particular person, that particular admin. And here, as you can see, there is a start button to start that event whenever there is time to start for the organizer. And similar way, they would be able to stop that event. And once you hit start on an event, if you go to your home page, it will be showed in the live event that the event is live now. And if you go to that event, it will be, you can see the live track of that event. So the next story is to track the live events in the front end. Now for this event, we have created three different components worked on by three different team members. So let's see one by one who created what and how does it work. So I'm in the event organizers my events page where the admin can look at their events. So this is the live event that is currently going to be live, and when I hit start from the admin page, it the event will start taking place. So once I do that, it starts the event. Now I go to home and I can see this event in here, the live. When I go into that event, I can see the live map of that event, the user whoever has participated in that event, and also on the map I can see wherever those users location are currently. And yeah, as the event starts takes place and the coordinates of them change, they will move on the map further. So this is the front end of the task, which is displaying the track event live on the map, which was done by Vivek. The user story belonging to that particular task is here, which is as spectator I want to see an intuitive UI so that I can track the position of participant along with other live statistics. In other live statistics, what we have is the name, the date, the time, the GPS coordinates of that particular checkpoint, the speed, altitude, and also the distance that that person has covered. Okay, this was the first component of this particular task, which was the front end. Now it involves other two components, out of which the first one is to take the data from an Excel sheet, which is a temporary Excel sheet that we got from a third party service map progress, and we are using that Excel sheet to dummy the data, send that data at particular time interval, and receive it, parse it on our service, and mock the data in the live events table. So there are two components involved for that. One component is that uh, the one that takes the data from Excel sheet and pushes it to the services, and then it takes that data and puts it into the database. Apart from that, the second service is to pull that data from the database and transmit it to a stream which is collected by the front end. So out of the two components, the first component was worked on by Shaunak, which is as developer, I want to mock the device data stream, normalize formats, and store them in appropriate database for live events. So which we can see over here. Since I have started the event, this is the server.js is the server of that particular mocker service, and the client is the one that will take data from Excel sheet and send it over TCP protocol. So once I hit start, it starts sending data here. You can see successfully added, which is it is adding the data into database successfully. And here on top of that, we can see in this terminal that the data is being pulled from the database and being sent to the front end in another stream service. So the last component that I just mentioned, which is pulling the database from the DB and streaming it to front end, is done by Shilpa, which is the task mentioned here, which is as user participating in a marathon or ride, I want my live location to be fetched at regular intervals so that my location is tracked accurately. Now, since we have all the services running over here, let's look at the front end and see what it looks like. So as you can already notice, the checkpoints were at different locations earlier, and now one of the checkpoints just moved. So as data is received every 5 seconds and updated on the front end, you can see the participants moving on the front end map. So this was the implementation for the sprint. When we click on the user, we get to see the detail about that user, which is the name of the user, the time, the location, speed, altitude, distance, etc. You can see their images. We can also see the list of participants, and this data is coming live from an Excel sheet, being updated into database, and then again being pulled from the database and being updated on the front end, and again on the front end being fetched from a stream and being displayed on the map.
The dal and vegetables didn't have time to boil.
So another part of this front end page is the leaderboard. When you have the live event going on, you can go to the leaderboard page, or the tab rather, to look at the participant list in order they are performing. So which is like their rank, their speed, their route traveled, altitude, distance, and everything. And based on that, it will tell you who is leading, who is behind, and what are all the respective positions. And yeah, you can also select how many rows you want to see. But right now we have only a very few participants, so this is the list is limited. So yeah, this was the part of the UI story itself, which was worked on by Vivek. Let's look at user story 102, which is as a event participant, I should be able to see a map of the track I took in an event so that I can review my progress later. So this is for I'm logged in as Shaunak. This when I go to my event, it will show the event that I took part in, and out of whichever event I click to, it will show whichever path I took during that particular event and show me details about my activities during that particular event. This task was done by Jenny, as you can see here, to add map to registered event page for completed events. And now let's look at other couple of storyless tasks. So one is update list of events in homepage to filter based on status, which is when we see go here, we can see completed events, upcoming events, and live events based on their actual status. So right now you don't see any live events, but when you go to the admin page and hit live on the particular button, as you saw earlier, you go to home page to the live component and it will display that live event. And once you stop it again, it will go to completed event and it will be shown in the completed event. So as you can see, New Zealand demo event is now completed because we hit stop from the admin panel. So this is one of the tasks that was done by Shaunak. Other storyless task is fix event details page to display registered users, which is when you go to the upcoming events or completed events. When you go to that particular event, it will show the list of participants that took part in the event. And as you can see, for testing purpose, we registered a lot of users to this event, and you can see the list being fetched from the backend. And also have added the event description, and the date has been formatted to correct form. So this brings us to the end of this sprint, and as you can see, all the tasks and all the stories that were assigned for this sprint to every member of the team have completed their tasks, and you can see the burn down chart for the sprint looks pretty good. We have completed everything, and it shows 100% completed record. Thank you.